In today's video, we go on a pocket 7. Stick around, find out what happened. But Void's here with another video. Episode 16 in the Bankroll channel. Playing on some Club WPT Gold. Playing some more No Limit 2. Today we bought our starting stack was 120.48. We bought it for our typical 4 chips, putting us at a current stack of 116.48. First hand of the night, we jump into his ace jack right here. This guy goes for a very large raise, so I'm just curious. Like I said, it's my first hand of the night. I'm not really sure this is a sizing tell, so we're gonna be a little cautious right here. With the flop coming in 3, 8, queen with 2 clubs, I don't hit anything right here. He decides to go big again. Like I said, since he went big on the pre-flop and he's going big right here on the flop, this might just be like kings, aces, ace king and stuff like that. So I'm gonna throw this one away. It's always good to learn the table and figure out what kind of sizing tells to use. Obviously, if they go smaller with certain hands and go bigger with other hands, it can make it easier to make your decision whether to call or fold. And like I said, since it's a first playable hand right there, I'm gonna fold. I'm not used to this guy. And for example, right here, he goes to 0.08 chips, so it's not as big as his last one. So maybe that was kings, queens, jacks, aces, or something like that. But I have 8, 10 clubs right here. I'm gonna put in the call. We're gonna go heads up to the flop as you always do on this website. So I'm just gotta figure out, get my feet wet, figure out how they're playing. Since I'm still very new, I didn't really watch any of these guys beforehand because I would literally jump straight into it. But the flop comes 7-9-3, so I have a straight draw if a jack comes on the board or any six on the board. So I feel like I got a decent amount outs. I also have a backdoor flush draw, but I'm not really counting that one right there. They decided to go kind of large right here, and I feel like since I can hit any two of those cards, I'm just gonna put in the call. And now with the 5 of diamonds, don't really like that. Now the flush draw gets there. And I decided to check it off, especially getting on first in position, the worst place to play, especially with this kind of hand right here. Hopefully they decide to check it through, which looks like it's gonna happen because the pre-flop aggressor checks, unless this guy decides to lay out, which he doesn't. So that's good. And now the king spades gets there, so I obviously just sitting here with 10 high. I hate my hand. I'm just gonna decide to check it over, and then they're gonna go big on the river right here, and I just fold this hand. I don't think I should really be turning this hand to a bluff. Maybe that king is good for my range, honestly, the way I played it. Now I'm back looking back at it. But we're gonna move on to this one. I have ace king suited. I feel like it's been a while since I had ace king right here in these videos. I feel like I was getting them forever, and now I just don't get them any. And I'm just gonna 3-bet this as per usual. Go a little bigger than 3x. Hopefully get everyone else in between to fold, and just hopefully pay this one as heads up pot. We get the original caller right here, and now the person in between, the person I want to fold, puts in the call. So 3 ways to flop a queen 7 deuce, all rainbow, so I don't hit anything. And now they decide to lead out. Very interesting. What could they be leading out with? I'm guessing he has a queen. I just don't know what kind of queen. I'm just gonna put in a call since I have ace king right here, and now the turn gives us a 6. So there's no flush draws, no straight draws so far. I'm gonna slow down and check it right here. And now a 6 pairs the board. And like I said, I think he has a queen. I'm sitting here ace high. He puts in a bet, and it's like I was thinking about re-raising it, but am I really gonna be able to fold out a queen right here? What could I possibly represent, like pocket sevens? So I just decided to fold this one. And then I was curious what he had, and so I card revealed, and he did have Queen Jack. So I don't think I was able to get him off that queen right there with his top pair, just given the way the board fell. And now we're moving on to this one right here. I have Ace 5 offsuit. It's a very small raise, so I'm just gonna put in the call, giving him the cutoff, and I have ultimate position that the button got out of the way. Heads up to the flop 2-3-5. So I have a straight draw, and I have top pair, top kicker. He decides to lead out real small again, so I'm not going where I'm putting the call. And now the king of clubs comes on the board. Obviously, the flush draw gets there. I don't really like this card too much. I'm just hoping my straight gets up there, and he has a king, so I can get as much value out of this hand as possible. And with the 4 on the river, gives me my straight. Like I said, I'm just hoping that he has a king in his hand, so I'm just trying to think what can I go max value for a king to call. So I go 0.20 chips. I think any king will call this, is given that it's not too big. I just don't think he has a flush, given that he checked right here on the river. He takes a while to think about it. I feel like he really wants to put it in, but he decides to fold. So we take down our first hand tonight. And after putting in some calls, you can see our chip count is kind of low, all the way down to 3 whole chips. But now I had 10-8 suited of hearts right here. I'm putting the raise since it makes its way to me. I'm just under the gun +1 position. I raised it up to 0.06 chips, and I'm just hoping, since this is kind of like a pseudo connector, I'm hoping for kind of just one flop, either hearts or some type of jack nine and stuff like that. Can't really be too happy depending on what the flop is, and the flop is not what I want to see. It's 5-3-4 with one heart. I have my backdoor heart like I wish. And since I was the pre-flop aggressor, I'm gonna be the post-flop aggressor right here, and hopefully get this guy folded out with the 0.08 chip bet. And now the 9 of hearts brings my flush draw even closer. I like this card. And I'm gonna go see if I can get him to fold. I'm gonna go about a third pot right here, a 0.10 chips, and take it down. So thankfully, I was able to be the aggressor and take that one down and represent my hand was stronger than what it actually was. But now right here, I have 7-5 of spades in the small blind. There's a raise of 0.06 chips, and it's kind of like a silly connector. I probably shouldn't be playing this, but I put in the call all anyways. We're gonna go multi ways to the flop as long as this guy doesn't re-raise the pot. So that's what we're hoping for. And like the last time, I'm only hoping for what kind of flop, something that I connect on very heavily. And here comes a 7 king on the flop. So I do hit a pair, second pair obviously. I don't know if they have kings in hand. They could honestly. So I might be ahead right here is what I'm thinking in the moment. And now the 9 of clubs comes on the board. I don't think they should have a 9 unless they have something like 9-10 suited, or they have like ace-9. So like I said, I might be ahead. That's why I'm gonna decide to donk out and lead out right here to a 0.11 chips. Hopefully you take it down right here, but we get one caller. So kind of scary that both of them called. And now the jack of clubs comes on the board. Obviously puts the flush draw there. There's also a straight draw as well with queen 10, I believe. And I just don't know what to do, but I'm gonna try to take this one down right here. Go 0.38 chips, about a third of the pot again. I probably should have went bigger to get him for fold, but we get re-raised immediately. So my hand's done right there. He puts in the re-raise to that one. They both go all in, and he takes it down with a flush and a full. Oh no, he takes it down with a full house. I'm sorry, I was looking on the left side. So good thing I folded that one. Kind of mad I punted that 0.38 chips at the end. I thought I would be ahead with my pairs of sevens. I didn't really think he had a king in his hand just the way he was playing it. But right here, I'm looking at pocket fours. I'm just gonna limp into this one since I'm kind of losing a decent amount of pots already and calling a decent amount of pots. I'm gonna limp in and try and mitigate and hopefully I hit something. The flop comes 5-8-6 rainbow, so I do have a straight draw on the board. He goes super low. Like I said, I don't really know what to think sometimes with these really small bets like that. And now the 2 diamonds comes on the board, so I have a double straight draw, I guess, right here. I just need a 3 and I get there. And now I decided to lead out right here. Hopefully I can take this one down because I might be ahead in this one. And now the 4 on the river gives me a set. Since this was a limp pot, I just hope he doesn't have a 3. Just please don't have a 3, honestly. I'm just trying to think of what to do. I check it just to see if he's going to take a stab. I might call, I might re-raise depending on the size. He goes 0.22. I really want to re-raise in the moment. But like I said, it's a limp pot. It's kind of scary. He might have a 3. I just hope he doesn't. I don't know. I'm going to re-raise it. Min click. I hate min clicking, but I did. And he had a 3. I knew it was a limp pot. I knew the possibility that he had a 3 would have been high, but we lose that one anyways. So as you guys can tell, this is another brutal session so far. A lot more losses than wins. Like I said, I want to be really authentic to y'all. But right here, I'm heads up to the flop of Jack A8. I have Jack 9 in my hand, so I have top pair. Okay, kicker. And now, arguably the worst card for me, a ace of clubs comes. Obviously, he can have an ace given that we're heads up to the flop. He decides to lead out right now. And I don't really know what to think. Does he really have an ace? He seems like one kind of big to have an ace. I know he might just be going for value, but I'm gonna put in the call. And now another card that I don't really like, a 10 of hearts. Obviously, King Queen gets there, and he decides to go 2x pot. Like, what was that? I decided to fold, and he had King 7, so I'm absolutely fuming at this point. King 7, really? Ugh. And now, the hand of the video right here, pocket 7s. You guys already know what's gonna go down. I put in the initial raise 0.06 chips. I get 3 bet right there. I feel like I've been losing. I feel like maybe I can just get lucky and hit a set right here. So that's why I'm gonna put in the call. Not gonna re-raise it, and the flop comes 8, deuce, 9. So I have third pair. I have a potential straight draw. I need to go runner though, so obviously not the best. He decides to lead out once again, and I guess since I was fuming from the last hand, just like I wasn't thinking my best, I put in the call, and now the queen of hearts comes, so I can possibly represent a queen in my hand. Now I'm thinking about it. I decided to check it to see what he does, and just by the way he's been playing it, he also decides to check. So maybe that queen is scaring him. Maybe he has something smaller like pocket sixes or something like that. And now the 10 of clubs comes by, and with him checking that queen, I'm gonna shove it. I'm gonna go all in. We're gonna see what happens right here. I know I have a horrible just pocket seven. He calls with jack and a straight. And after that one, as you guys see, I rebought and I had to switch tables. I had enough of that table, losing all the chips right there. So we bought in for another 2 chips. You can see in the bankroll up there, top right, it's at 114.48 now. So the first hand of the new table, I have 9, 10 of diamonds. I raised it to 0.06 chips. We get called 3 ways to the flop of king 410. So I have second pair, okay kicker, and he decides to check to me. I was a pre-flop aggressor. That's what I was thinking about betting, but I actually decided to check it. Play my parallel stall because I can easily have a king in the range, and it checks all the way through. So that's a good sign right there. And now the 10 of hearts, the 9 of hearts, I'm sorry, comes on the turn. So I improve to 2 pair, not top 2 pair, but 2 pair. Kind of sneaky. The guy decides about zero point 0.02 chips, a whole big blind. I'm not gonna let that stand. I'm gonna raise it up to 0.20. Hopefully take this one down. We do. We see those 2 words, you win. Just like in basketball, sometimes you just need to see one go through. And that was my one, and hopefully that changes all up. But now I'm moving on to pocket sevens in the button again. I'm kinda scarred from my last hand from busting out. So I decided to put in the call 0.06 chips, even though all my instincts were telling me not to. Since I'm the button, I'm gonna call it. And now the flop is 2 jack 5. We're 3 ways to the flop, 2 diamonds on that board, and I have a diamond in my hand, but hopefully it doesn't come to that. We'll be in a whole lot of hurt if it does. But now it seems like they're gonna slow down and check it over, hopefully. And right as I thought that, someone puts in a bet for 0.06 chips. Not the biggest. I can easily be ahead right here, so I put in the call. And now a jack of clubs comes on the board, so making it less likely he has a jack. He decides to lead out once again. So I'm just trying to figure out what could he be doing this with. Does he really have like king jack? Does he have maybe just ace king, ace queen? But then again, if he had those hands, he might be 3 betting. But now with the 4 hearts right here, I feel like I'm ahead again. He goes small again, so I don't really know. This is back to back hands he did. I just call, and he had pocket nines. To just show you, I was never ahead. My whole reads are wrong so far. Just like how did he have pocket nines in that situation? I guess maybe if I did re-raise it, I probably could have taken that one down, represent that I had something that I didn't actually show. And now right here we had King Jack right here. I raised it to 0.06 chips. We get one caller so far. And the guy that just beat me in pocket nines also puts in the call. The flop comes 10 for Queen. So I have a straight draw and a dream. I have absolutely nothing else. They decide to check over me. I decide to check it. Hopefully, I see a free turn and see the ace. Unfortunately, I see the exact opposite. I see the deuce. So I'm still here sitting with my straight draw, and I just don't really know what to think. They decide to do the little one big line raise again. He did have a pocket nines. I was able to get him fold the hand before that, so I'm just gonna put in call. I don't know what this sizing tell means. And now the ace comes on the board. Thank goodness. Finally, I hit something. And looks like I'm going to take this one down. I don't see any possibilities that they have anything stronger than me. So they put in a raise right here at 0.13 chips. I'm going to re-raise this right here. Like I said, I don't really think I lose anything. So I do about 3x, a little under 3x's initial raise. And they all put in the call. So thankfully, I take one down. Yeah, Queen 10, so kind of interesting size and tell the guy's using. So we finally hit another one. Thank you. But we're going to move on to the next one. I'm in the small blind. I'm looking down at ace 8 of clubs. Like I said, sometimes you just need to see one go in, and then your luck kind of changes. That's what I'm thinking right now. I'm just thinking, trying to put some good mojo out on the board. Just think club, club, club. But it looks like it's gonna limp around to me. You know me, I can't really let that stand, especially given the strength of my hands. Not the strongest, but it's playable, very playable. I raised it a .06 chips and try to represent. I have a good holding than what I'm actually playing. Like a semi bluff in a way. The flop comes 7-4-5, so I have a straight draw and a dream with ace high. So obviously any nine gets. Oh, I don't have a straight. Yeah, I have a gut shot straight draw. I'm sorry. Any six gets me there, and I decide to lead out. He calls one folder. Now the king of diamonds don't really like to score. He can have a king in his hand, but he did limp in, I believe, and then he called my raise. So I just slowed down and checked to him. Maybe I should have just kept firing, kept blasting off right here, and he decides to put in a raise to .14. I put in the call hoping to see the six, but I see something even worse, a 10 of clubs. You can easily have ace 10, queen 10, jack 10, and he decides to lead out with .28. Nothing for me to do but fold. I was curious what he had. I revealed, and he had king 3, so he had me beat all the way. And now onto this hand. I'm looking at King Queen of Hearts. I'm gonna put in the raise. It's kind of a big raise, but the flop comes 10 Jack 4 all clubs. Don't like it. I do have a straight draw, but obviously I don't have any clubs in my hand. I'm gonna slow down and check it. It checks through. Now the Queen of Clubs comes, gives me top pair, but obviously if they have one single club in their hand, they have it. But I'm gonna put in a little bet, given that they check it, I might be ahead. I get one caller and now another club on the river. So obviously we both have flushes. Hopefully he doesn't have a club, and we chop it up, which is exactly what we do. Thankfully, we don't really lose anything right there. We just split the pot. So now I'm looking at pocket jacks, one of my favorite hands as of lately. They are kind of tricky to play, but I'm gonna re-raise this one since I feel like I gotta go broke or go home. Looking at this premium hand, I go 4 times the initial bet, and we get some callers in between, which I don't like. They can easily be seen on like ace kings, ace queens, stuff like that. Maybe some tens, queens, and stuff like that. But the flop couldn't come any better for me. 6-2-6, so I have top pair on this board. Unless they have like queens, kings, and aces, I should be good. I doubt any six hits their range. I'm gonna go about half pot right here. Hopefully, get some of these guys to fold, and we get one person fold. The other person goes all in. Like I said, if he has aces, kings, or queens, so be it. I doubt he'll have a six in his hand, so I'm just gonna call the all in. Hopefully, get a nice little double up. And we do when we see pocket ace, and the run out is good, and we take out a good pot. Finally, get back in a
Hey,
good pot.
that's pretty good.
So now that I'm feeling good, we get another premium right here. We are 2x are rebuying at 4.48 chips right here, and now I'm looking at pocket queens. I just feel like we're about to get back in the even point at this mark. Since it works this way with me, I'm gonna put in a little decent raise of .08 chips. I don't want to scare anyone. I want some action. We go heads up to the flop, which couldn't come better for me. I flop top set on the board 8-10 queen. I decided to slow down, check it, just so I don't want to scare him away too yet. He checks to me with the ace on the turn. And right here, I just gotta feel like I gotta go for value. I don't know how big. I don't want to go too big. I'm gonna go about half pot, given that the pot's very small. Just hopefully he puts in the call. I just want to get max value, and he does put in the calls, which is a good sign right there. Now the 9 comes on the board, obviously putting multiple straights on the board, but like I said, I can't be too afraid, especially how he's been playing. I feel like he should maybe re-raise me if he had some type of ace in his hand. Maybe he had a 10 in his hand. So I'm gonna go for more value right here, and he decides to supposedly take back to back pots. Thankfully, we're looks like we're about to chip back up. And now right here, it was a limp pot. I limped in, and I had 3-5, and we hit the absolute nuts of with the flop coming 6-4 deuce. We're three ways. He puts in a small raise, and right here, I think I 100% got this pot one. I just want to get the rest of his .27 chips. Since he was the aggressor, I'm going to check it to him, and he decides to fire away. So I'm going to take a little bit to think about it, then I'm going to call. And now with another 4, I should be good here. He might have a 4 in his hand, but I decided to check over. Hopefully he shoves all in. It's exactly what he does. I couldn't be smiling more and hit that all in faster. And he had quads. I mean, I guess pocket fours limping in it does make sense, but when do you ever run into quads? Kind of sucked out the air out of that one, to be honest with you. And now I have ace king offsuit. For the second time today, I'm looking at ace king hand. I raise up to 0.08 chips. Hopefully, one of these blinds gets out of the way. We get a call by the small blind and the big blind, which is kind of scary because obviously the rangers should be stronger. A flop of 8, 10, queen, they could easily have some type of ace queen in their hand. They can have king queen or something like that. So, especially when they decide to lead out, I'm just going to put in the call. And now another queen on the turn, so making it less likely they have a queen. They decide to lead out again. And even though I have a straight draw, I fold it and then I see the jack on the river. Oh, my stomach just fell. Can't believe it. I'm just hoping one of them has some type of full house and they both just had two pairs. So I would have a massive pot right there. I folded a straight. Yikes. So now I'm looking at King Queen right now. Two back to back horrible hands, horrible runouts, and all that. This video, I'm just not making the correct decisions. I'm not reading the board properly. I guess I wasn't having it today. And now with a re-raise to my 0.06 chips to 0.18, I'm just gonna put in the call 'cause I'm a little mad about what just transpired last hand. Obviously, I shouldn't be calling this, but I couldn't be happier when I see a flop of 2 king 10, so I flop top pair, third best kicker. They might have some type of king 10s in their range, but they shouldn't, given that it's a 3-bet pot. Everyone called it. They shouldn't be playing king 10 like this, as I would assume. And now the big blind decides to lay out. I'm gonna put in the call. I can't go anywhere with my pair just yet. And now a jack brings me another straight. All I can think about, please don't fold a straight this time. Please, if they bet, please don't bet too big. I want to see this river. And he goes absolutely massive. Goes about a full pot, I believe. So that's exactly what I didn't want to see. I feel like maybe he has a straight already. So I'm gonna fold this one and I'm gonna kick myself if I folded another straight depending on the turn. I reveal and he had Jack 9, so he kind of bluffed me out my shoes, and I would have hit another straight. I could not believe it. I folded back to back straights. Usually, you're supposed to keep your temperament when you see the rest of the board to compare your hand, but nothing to do. And right here, we're gonna go all in with the same guy I went against earlier. He had ace jack right here, so I take down another all in against him. Hopefully, I just keep on running good against this one player, but I need to get my reads correct so far. And now I'm looking at ace jack right here in the big blind, suited hearts. So a really good position. Even this gets 3-betted, I'm pretty sure I'll put in the call. Just depending on how big the 3-bet is actually is. But sometimes you're gonna have sessions like this, guys, where everything you make you feel like you're doing the wrong decisions, wrong runouts. It just happens. It's a game of variance, like I say. You just sometimes it's tough, especially watching back these hands. Like it's tough to see some of these folds and stuff like that. But I'm gonna raise this one up. We're gonna get called 3 ways of a flop of Queen 7-7 with one heart. I had two hearts. So I have a backdoor flush draw. Hopefully, I'm gonna keep the aggressor, and I get snap call, which is never good to see. But then I see the ace of clubs, so I improve to top pair, and now the 10 on the river. I feel like I might be ahead right here. Obviously, there is another straight on the board. But I'm gonna try to go for value, go kind of big, and he kind of snap calls me right away with a random 2 pair. So we take down another pot to end the session. So an eventful video to say the least. Today our initial starting stack was 120.48. We bought in for a total of 6 chips after we busted our first buy-in. So we are leaving today with our total bankroll at 118.62. We left the table with 4.45 chips, so leaving us a difference of negative 1.55 chips. So a lot better than what I actually thought it was gonna be. I thought we were gonna be down a lot more, but thank you guys making it so much for the end of this video. Like, comment, subscribe, and see y'all in the next one.